It's more than a new user experience. It's the next level of Salesforce that everyone wants. A framework for fast customization, an ecosystem of ready-made apps and components. It's about helping your entire team get things done more efficiently, so they have more time to make your customers happy. Now, sales reps can be more productive with everything they need in one place. They can sell smarter with Einstein lead scoring and insights. Make a call, leave a pre-recorded voicemail, logged. With every customer touchpoint, right within Lightning, also logged. Managers can see how their business is progressing at each stage with Kanban. With Einstein-powered search, they can limit results, finding exactly what they need. And when you need something more, your teams can collaborate on the issue. With the Lightning framework, pages are made up of components. Developers can use pre-built blocks of code to quickly create new components. Admins can drag and drop those components, reusing them on any page. They can even find hundreds of Lightning-ready apps and components on the App Exchange, taking your business to the next level, saving on development costs, and making your employees happy. Because happy employees make happy customers. Lightning, where innovation happens with Salesforce. Visit Trailhead to get started and see how you can be more productive in every moment with Lightning. Blaze your trail with Salesforce.
All right. It's a great video, isn't it? It's so much fun. Good afternoon, everyone. Day three of Dreamforce. Thanks so much for joining us here. I'm Shawna, and I have been leading the Lightning effort at Salesforce for the last 3 years. But what I've really been doing for the last 14 years is listening to you, our customers. And what I know from talking to you all these years is that you've really made investments in Salesforce to grow your business. And I am convinced now more than ever that the way to do that is with Lightning. So we're going to start in that place that we always start. We're at day 3, so I'm sure most of you have seen this a few times already this week, basically by today, what we have in market today, rather than all of the amazingly awesome things we're going to show you in this presentation. And speaking of slides you've probably seen a lot of this week, the good old fourth industrial revolution. And Mark launched us this week with this idea of the fourth industrial revolution. And to me, what's interesting and special is that everyone in this room has lived through 2 of these industrial revolutions, and that's not a thing a lot of people get to do in their lives. And Salesforce really came to life in that third revolution, right? And it was revolutionary, a single place to have all of your customer data. But it was really a system of record. And what we're doing as we move into the fourth industrial revolution is embracing this change, embracing this idea of intelligence and productivity in all of the apps, all of the devices that we use, and really bringing that with us as we make this move. And really, what does that mean in particular in Salesforce? And you remember, Salesforce Classic, it's a great application, right? It was, like I said, this revolutionary application that really allowed you to have a full sense of what was happening. But it was a way for your users to put data into a system, and then for managers to get reporting on the data. It didn't really help anyone sell or service a whole bunch better. And what we've done as we've moved into this new revolution, and really with Lightning, is really brought a point of view and productivity into Lightning so that you can really put together everything that your users need in one place to really help them do their work. So this idea of this productivity-based workflow. And how did we do that? We did that in the way really that only Salesforce knows how. And what we do is that we listen, and we had a tremendous amount of feedback about our Classic application over the many years. And in addition, we really did a lot of in-person research. We talked to a lot of you. Actually, I'm sure we talked to you, Maria, right? About what what we were missing and what we needed. We followed sales reps around as they did their job. We sat next to call center agents and listened in and watched and really learned about these different personas who needed different things from Salesforce and how we could bring that into Lightning to really flip the script from a place where people sort of had to go to enter data because if it didn't, it didn't exist, right? We know that, to a place people wanted to live all day because we knew that it would really help them do their job. And we asked ourselves really, what would it take, right? What would it look like if we started over, right? If we had this idea of productivity really from the beginning, and what we got was Lightning. And Lightning is an experience, right? It is an entirely new UI to Salesforce. And we've made a tremendous amount of progress on our sales application in Lightning. And we are in the process of doing the same now for Service Cloud and our Service Cloud console. And when we thought about these productivity-based applications, we realized we also had to really rethink from the ground up our platform. So we have a new platform for Lightning, as well as adding this idea of productivity components into our App Exchange. So I'm going to start and go a little deeper in on our experience and kind of what this really means. And like I said, it's about helping people do the work. It's about a bias to action and bringing this idea of all of the kind of information you need to do your job into one place. So bringing analytics right into the page, bringing Einstein into the page, and really helping people with the activities that they have to do inside the application. So it's super easy to take notes, to log calls, all of that is right built in to the new Lightning experience. There are dozens of presentations this week about all of the features that are in Lightning, but I really wanted to stop and talk a little bit about some of the ones that I think are really driving people to Lightning. And for me, a lot of it is about console and this console navigation. And this isn't a separate thing you buy that takes forever to set up and is kind of onerous to set up and manage. Console now is just a built-in part of the Lightning framework and the Lightning platform. Any application you can build, it's just really kind of a ticking of a box. Do I want a standard navigation or do I want console? And you can bring that idea of multiple tabs, a kind of high productivity workspace to anything that your users need. And this idea of our utility bar, right? Any kind of information you want to have across an application, any tools that your users use all the time, you can configure that very easily with points and clicks. No more custom code, very easy. Any component you have can fit right in that utility bar, as well as dashboards, right? We have freed the dashboard from its dashboard tab, and now you can have dashboards on records. You can have them on your homepage. You can have them right there in the utility bar. So those are coming with us. And when we think about productivity, you don't just have to sort of trust me that it's more productive. We have tremendous momentum in our customer base. A large number of our customers have already made this move and they're using it every day. And we went out and we surveyed them. And from win rates increasing to really a whole bunch of improved speed of reporting in through this kind of increased collaboration across the board, our users are telling us that they are 41% more productive when they make that move to Lightning. So when you think about why you want to move, it's really about this idea of productivity. And I'm going to show a little video here, and we're going to do a demo of what's happening with Lightning at T-Mobile.
I've never felt anything like what we have here at T-Mobile.
We're not afraid to try new things. We're not afraid to eliminate customer pain points. We don't feel like the small player anymore.
We're the company that's built the brand around customers. Our B2B business has really followed a lot of the same paths as our B2C business. But man, it's showing that it really works there as well.
We're industry leaders. We're shaking things up. Salesforce does the same thing.
You don't want a customer to know that you're a series of different departments. They want to know that they're talking to T-Mobile. We're using Sales Cloud as a way to gather data and use it as a starting place for a marketing journey. We also have Salesforce deployed in our retail stores. When a business walks in and they make eye contact with one of our reps, a relationship is formed.
80% of our retail reps are now utilizing the Salesforce app on a daily basis.
We immediately saw a really significant increase in leads that were captured in retail and then successfully transferred to our direct sales team.
Given that we're a mobile company, being mobile is very important.
Salesforce Inbox allows us to bring everything together.
It's basically like I have like a Salesforce assistant. It took a lot off my plate that I would have to manually track. It provides me all the background knowledge that I need to help better assist the customer.
Lightning is helping us drive that adoption and driving that perception that this is a selling tool.
Salesforce really helps me in not only attaining my quota, but actually exceeding my quota. I'll kind of just have a competition with myself. I'll be like, we'll see, Salesforce, we'll see.
Utilizing the Salesforce platform, our quote-to-cash process, we went from 120 clicks down to 7. That ROI is huge.
Our teams are in Trailhead all the time. Salesforce always has the latest and greatest releases coming out.
Last year, they came out with Einstein.
I think AI can completely change the game, where instead of focusing on no's, we can focus simply on the people where we've already gotten signals that they're going to say yes.
Here's how we can not only help your business grow, but be more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, I think we found a formula that really works.
Other carriers, they're still chasing us, and they're not going to catch us because we're trailblazers here. And that culture of trailblazing is going to continue out forever.
All right. Hey everybody, my name is Ben Pruden. I love my walk-on music. Whenever you get the chance, make sure you give yourself walk-on music for anything. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of how you actually can, and how T-Mobile is using Lightning to make themselves more productive and more effective in every moment. So we're here on the home screen, and this is actually an example of T-Mobile for Business. So I'm going to be walking through a role. This person, John Watson, is a rep for T-Mobile for Business. And this is when he first starts on his home screen. The thing that you'll notice is there's all the different things that John needs to have in one place to be really effective and work smarter and faster. One thing that I'll call out is that 4/5 of our customers actually customize the homepage. In fact, you'll hear about that from some of the customer speakers that you're going to hear from today, because that's the place that their reps start every single day, and that's how they get to where they're going. John's got his quarterly performance dashboard. He's hitting on target. He actually wants to set himself a stretch goal. He'll do that really quick. He actually had a great dinner last night with a customer. You see that Einstein's telling him that his deal is boosting with United Partners and that company is growing. He's really excited about that account. Below that, he's got a list view of his open opportunities. And one of the cool things that you can do with a winter release is add list views to any new page. And he's got that list view of his open opportunities. And then Shawna mentioned you've got the ability to have dashboards built into every different screen that you want. You can put it on your utility bar. You can put it anywhere. But John right here is excited because he's crushing his team. He's number one in terms of the number of activities that he's doing. He's got more phone calls, more tasks. He's beating everybody, and that's where he wants to be because he wants to get his bonus at the end of the year. So we're actually going to jump into his opportunity list view, and we get that using the Lightning Enhanced Navigation. So with an Enhanced Navigation with Lightning, we actually took the cool tabular way that you get around in Classic, but then we made it better. We actually added the ability to add favorites, to have some of your recent records all available right there in that dropdown. So we're going to use our favorite. We're going to actually jump to my open opportunities. That's one of John's favorite lists. And he's actually going to add a chart really quick to this list as well, because he wants to get some summary view of all the different opportunities he's working. He notices right off the bat, there's United Partners right on the top. And he's really excited about that. It's Dreamforce, kicking off Dreamforce. He had a dinner with United Partners just the other night. So what he actually wants to do is filter and sort this list so that he can update all of his United Partners opportunities at once. So he's going to go ahead and sort. And once he does that, he's going to go select all of those records simultaneously. And he's going to use just a single click or 2 clicks to do that. So he went ahead and had that dinner. They signed that growth deal with United Partners. So T-Mobile for Business is going to continue growing with them, and they're really excited about that. We'll update those all in once, hit save. And then we're actually going to go into the roll-up opportunity deal that is the single place where he's been really collaborating with them. So one of the things that I'll call out right when you get on this page is we've got a really cool thing called Path. Path helps ensure that you're organizing all of your information into stages. Operations teams love Path because it helps them get on the same page with their sales team or any other process that they're managing in Salesforce. And you can add guidance with that Path. So you can say, hey, I want to make sure that we and you are doing the right things to make sure that your deal is running successfully. And you can filter key fields and make those available within that Path. So big productivity booster. Now he's going to go ahead and mark that deal as closed, won, and then the next thing he's going to do is send a quick kickoff email to kick off his project with United Partners. So he'll use the emails built directly in the Lightning interface. He's super pumped that he can just send an email from right here. He'll actually use an email template to go with that. He actually, since he's a high performer, he's got a lot of projects that he's got to kick off, and so he wants to make sure and leverage that really quick. So we'll pop in that email. He'll contact his main point of contact, Lauren Boyle. Go ahead and hit send on that, and boom, it's off. So the last thing John wants to do is actually make sure that his project with United Partners is on track. So he's going to use Einstein Search to get to his project record. So with Einstein Search, John can actually filter directly to the record and the record type that he's looking for. So he's going to search for the project object, and then he's going to filter and jump straight into his expansion rollout project. One of the things that's really neat about Lightning and Einstein Search is that people actually go to the individual search page 40% less than they used to. They go directly to the record more than ever before. So we can see that expansion rollout project. Again, Path is on there helping guide the team that's working on this project through the process. You notice that he's in build stage, so things are already kicking off and going. And he's actually going to chatter directly with Lauren. Lauren's already engaged with the team on the project. She's excited to get going too. So we're going to say, thanks, Lauren, for setting the agenda. So it's been a great day. He's having an awesome Dreamforce. Things are going really well for him. The last thing he's going to do is just check on his project Kanban. So with Path, you can also include Kanban. Kanban allows you to view all your different projects by stages. And he's actually jumped to that Kanban using favorites. Favorites is one of the cool things that we've done in Lightning. You actually can star and make a favorite out of any record or any list that's in Salesforce. So he's done that. And now he can see all the different projects that he's managing at once. He can move forward that expansion rollout opportunity or project with United Partners. He can move these around however he needs to and make sure that things are tracking out as they're meant to. All right, so it's been a great day, and I'm really excited about what I've done with United Partners. So I'm going to invite up John Sigler to tell you a little bit more about all of the great trailblazers we have at Lightning.
My team's over there laughing because that's not the walk-up music they envisioned for me. I asked for talk radio, but they said no to that. So Shawna and Ben showed you a little bit about where we are with Lightning, and normally I would get up here and I would tell you about the roadmap and some future thing that we're thinking of. But Lightning's been out for a while, and I thought it was important to talk to customers about where they are with Lightning and their journey. But before I get to that, I think that this slide has been up all week, but it's deserving of the trailblazers. We wouldn't be Salesforce. This event would not happen. We wouldn't have our ecosystem. We wouldn't have the community without the trailblazers. And specifically, I really want to thank the trailblazers that are working with Lightning. You're the innovators, disruptors. You have a thirst for knowledge and learning, and we would not be here. We wouldn't see the adoption rates. We wouldn't see the productivity increases without you, so thank you very much. Speaking of trailblazers, UPS, just a huge company, hundreds of thousands of employees. They deliver millions and millions of packages with millions of customers, and they're kind of a unique story in that this was not a migration from Classic to Lightning. This was a decision to use Lightning on a new project. And to tell us a little bit more about that journey, I want to invite Robin Hensley up, Senior Director of CRM at UPS. Come on up.
Thank you, John. All right, thank you very much. So I'm Robin Hensley, and I am in charge of CRM and customer experience at UPS, and this is for all of our sales and marketing and customer service and customer care representatives.
It was fantastic, and as I said before, it was kind of unique in that this is not a migration from Classic. It was a decision to go with Lightning. Can you tell us a little bit about the decision-making process and how you made the decision to go with Lightning?
Absolutely, and it was a very exciting path. So we looked at Lightning as we were going to roll out the whole Sales Cloud for our entire organization worldwide, and we looked at the features, and we really liked the user experience and especially the mobile experience. You mentioned clicks before code. So also as part of our rollout, we looked at how much we had to customize the solution for our specific sales process. So we were also rolling out a completely new sales process as part of this. But with Lightning, we were able to use 47 Lightning components as part of our original deployment. And by the way, since then, we've completed our deployment this summer. And since then, we're now up to 90 Lightning components.
Wow.
So it has really greatly enhanced not only our experience, but also our ability to deliver that experience.
That's great. So this is a pretty big project for you, a lot of people involved. Can you tell us a little bit about how you attacked the problem? You had said to me earlier that it was about the people and the process and user experience moving forward. Tell us a little bit about planning for Lightning.
Right, and it was a huge group effort, so I have to give my thanks and appreciation to literally hundreds of people across UPS and also our partners, including Salesforce, our delivery partner, our technology partners. So it was just over 200 people that were involved in this process. But just like what you mentioned previously about your Lightning experience, we did something similar where we went out and we did shadowing. So we would shadow our salespeople, both back office salespeople and inside sales, as well as our feet on the street, and look at the technologies they were using, look at their processes, look at the data they weren't using, and the data that they wanted and their wishes. And from there, we decided on, of course, Lightning, and we decided on our processes. And then when we went to implement, we did visualization sessions. So maybe you might have heard them as conference room pilots. But I think what was unique with what we did, it was a huge investment. But we brought in representatives from the field, from every country and every business unit. Wow. So we had people that dedicated 3 weeks at a time as we went through our different releases to go through these visualization sessions, because we wanted to build a solution. We called it for the field, by the field. Mm-hmm. So we made sure that we delivered it and built it for the field because they were there with us the entire time. It was a huge investment, but it definitely paid off.
And that probably led to the next thing I want to talk about is your adoption rate, specifically with mobile. What kind of adoption rates and feedback have you gotten?
Actually, from day one, the adoption rate was fantastic, especially as you mentioned on mobile. Mm-hmm. And we had great feedback. We had many people telling us that all the information is in the solution. So let's say that my boss is calling me, and instead of having to send them an email with a report, they actually don't call me anymore. They go into the system and they get the information that they need. And also collaboration. So collaboration has never been better. So like many of you other companies and people here, you have different product lines and maybe different services. So at UPS, I know you know that we ship packages, but we also have freight and forwarding. We have customer solutions. We have UPS Capital. So we have lots of people that are calling on accounts. And now they can find each other and they can talk to each other and collaborate all over the world. So it's really been amazing.
You have some other things going on with Salesforce. You want to tell us about that?
We're in process of Service Cloud. So we're very excited about delivering Service Cloud next year. As you know, our customers want to contact us and talk to us in many different ways. So we want to make sure that we're using the channel of choice for those customers and working with them. So we're very excited about that.
That's fantastic. Well, I want to thank you for coming up on stage and sharing your story. Robin?
Well, I have a couple of other, one more thing. That, first off, everybody knows that the holidays are coming. So I just want to help you, help yourself take control over your deliveries, we have My Choice. So, and I know you've already signed up for UPS.com, so that's My Choice. It's free. We have over 40 million people signed up for this. We'll let you know when your delivery is coming. We have Follow My Delivery. So please sign up and be ready for the holidays. Sign up soon, sign up often. No, not often. Just sign up once. but make sure that we can help you, make sure that you know where your packages are. And then finally, I want to thank you. So thanking Salesforce. And so for me personally, I am on the advisory board for Georgia State University in Atlanta. And last year, I talked to the team and introduced them to Salesforce, and we put together workshops on the weekend so that the students, with no additional cost, and of course on their own time, they're coming in on the weekend and basically going through Salesforce workshops and ultimately getting certifications that will help them get jobs and help them move forward. So again, I want to thank you for giving back to the communities.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your time, and have a great rest of the Dreamforce. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robin, everybody. So next, I'm going to bring Shawna back up, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about the framework and platform. There you go.
Awesome. All right, framework. So, it's a little nerdy, but really, it's great, right? When we had to rebuild this Salesforce platform for Lightning, we went and looked at how we could bring smaller components of customization into Lightning instead of kind of that one big Visualforce page that overrid everything. Now you can bring that custom functionality right in to Salesforce in smaller bits, and it's really these building blocks. And we're going to give a bunch of those building blocks to you out of the box. Your developers can build those components, and then now we have an ecosystem with a number of components that you can bring right in to your application to build and extend Salesforce in a much more productive way. And the cornerstone of this Lightning platform is our app builder. And how many people in here have used the page layout editor? Right? Everyone uses the page editor. It was a fantastic way to easily drag and drop fields onto a page. It was a kind of huge differentiator for us over the years in Salesforce. But when we thought about these productivity-based workspaces, we needed a new way to give you the power to customize those. And it's really with the app builder. And you can customize those pages without code using our standard components, the ones you can see that are custom, all with drag and drop now. You can build these highly productive, very rich experiences in a way that before you would really have to talk to your developers about writing code and sort of going off down that path. So really great experiences, all with drag and drop. And we know our admins love this new framework, but our developers too are really loving this idea of components. They can take our base components and build really rich experiences without having to rebuild a lot of those things like input fields and grids and charts, and really collaborate with their admins in a whole new way, right? You build this component, you expose some attributes, and that same component can be used by your admins across pages, across apps, across form functions. So really, this is a great way to really kind of deliver on that promise of low code to high code on our platform. And Mark launched this earlier in this week, but this idea now of mylightning. And this is really the suite of tools that allow you to make Lightning and Salesforce yours in a whole new way, right? We saw the T-Mobile video, but now Bob at T-Mobile can really bring his brand right into the application, all with point and click tools, no code, his logo, his color, banners across the app that really make it feel more like T-Mobile. And with dynamic pages in the app builder, this is a big one, right? One of the big ideas on the Idea Exchange, this idea of having dependent page layouts. And this is our first step. You're a sales rep, your deal all of a sudden got a lot bigger. It went over $1 million threshold. And with simple rules inside the app builder, you can show and hide components now on that opportunity screen. So it's over $1 million. Now we have a new component that allows you to request some support for this deal from a PM or from a sales engineer. You can even put a banner on top of the page now so that whenever someone visits, they'll know that that's a hot deal that needs their attention. And those components can all be flows. Right now, with the ability to put Lightning components inside of a flow, you have those great kind of process-driven UIs that cross multiple parts of Salesforce all in one experience, and you can really expose those to your users everywhere. So again, much more fun to watch Ben Pruden come up and show you this cool stuff than have me keep talking about it. So welcome back, Ben Pruden.
Cool. Okay, so let's jump into the demo. We're actually going to take a quick look at mylightning. And one of the things that Shawna mentioned was the ability to do theming. So one thing that's really cool with Lightning is that we've got this thing called the Lightning Design System that allows us to really change the way pages look and feel. So you'll notice that in our winter release, we actually just came out with Salesforce Blue. That's one of our themes that comes out of the box with Lightning. There's actually a bunch of different themes that you can choose, but it gives nice separation between the different elements. It allows for better legibility and better visibility across Lightning. If you jump over into a group, we can actually see that groups even have banners that are associated with them as well. So you can have really, we've injected some Trailhead fun, but you could make this your own in any way that you choose. So let's actually show you how we actually set up this theming. So we'll jump into setup. We can see all the different themes that we could potentially pick from. We've got Salesforce Blue already set and turned on. But let's actually jump and take a look at the T-Mobile theme. So with the T-Mobile theme, we can see that we've selected the logo, we've selected and chosen the color, the primary color that we have. And then what Salesforce has done is actually calculated for us our secondary colors that are accessible for anybody who wants to look at them. There's also a headline banner that we can choose. We can really bring in our own brand and fun that's into that, as well as some of the other types of elements that appear on the screen. So all we do once that's already set up and we go is we just hit activate, and then it goes live into that environment. So we can see now that T-Mobile theme is applied. So let's take a look at a quick customer service example to see how we'd actually apply some of the other amazing things with mylightning. So we're actually on a phone call. We received a call from Erica Ware. She's a customer for T-Mobile, and she actually wants to upgrade her plan. So currently, she's got a basic plan. She wants to upgrade to T-Mobile One. Now with T-Mobile One, she can now include other things with her service. For example, Netflix comes free. She's a big Stranger Things fan. She also gets international phone calls. She gets GoGo in-flight wireless. And because she has all that, a dynamic component pops up on the right hand of the screen that tells the service agent that she's talking to that there is a cross-sell opportunity. If she wants to go international more frequently, she can add on unlimited international calls with that T-Mobile One plan. Because all she did was upgrade to the new plan, that dynamic component appeared. There could be hundreds of different cross-sell, upsell offers that we make enabled into this environment, but that's the one that we have here. So really a great way for Erica to have a better customer service experience, as well as our customer service people to really work with her better. All right, well, I'm going to bring back John one more time to have another chat with a customer. Thanks, John.
So that was fantastic. Shawna showed a little bit about what we're doing with the framework and with platform. And Ben showed us a little bit about theming and app builder. And to call out two of the people that own those features, they're sitting right over here, Eric Jacobson and Joe Ryan. If you have any questions, they'll spend hours and hours and hours telling you about their features. Next, I wanted to talk a little bit about Commscope. This is a true trailblazing telecommunication company. And when I was working with them and I was working with Sarah, even the email she sent seemed exciting. That they were very excited about the project, about Lightning and what they were doing. They have 1,500 users transition to Lightning. They're seeing a 20% uplift in their daily logons. And what I would really like to do is bring Sarah Grove up and have her tell us in her own words about her Lightning journey. Hi, Sarah.
Thanks, Tom.
So Sarah, first, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Commscope and what you do at Commscope?
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Commscope, and I'm sure most of you may not have heard of Commscope, but I assure you, we're one of the largest companies that impact your life on a daily basis. We manufacture cutting-edge wireless network equipment, intelligent building, and data centers. So you use this every day and probably don't even realize it.
Right.
And then myself at Commscope, I started working with CRM tools back in 2007. And I was with one of our sales organizations, In 2012, our sales VP decided he wanted to bring all the different sales groups into one organization with one sales methodology on one platform, and we decided to go forward with Salesforce. And since then, it was just 2 admins, but now we've grown. Not only are we using Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, but we're also using partner communities.
That's fantastic. Could I ask you to go back a slide, please? So, sorry, my questions are written here, so I didn't. The decision between Classic and Lightning was made really because of an acquisition, and you had to make a decision about what platform you were going to go with as far as what it was going to do for you today and what it was going to do for you in the future. Can you just walk us through that decision-making process?
Yeah, there was actually quite a few things that played into it. One, we had been at Dreamforces and been looking at Lightning ever since it came out. We were kind of excited about getting our hands on it. But like you mentioned, we had this acquisition, and we had a ton of consolidation that we needed to do. We needed to merge orgs, and we had these huge projects that were going to be coming this year. And this was last year that we're having these conversations. So after the summer 16 release, looking at what was coming down the roadmap, we decided this was the right time for us to get serious and really pitch to our executives that we need to migrate now and not later. Last thing we wanted to do is build out these huge projects in Classic and then rework them in Lightning. We wanted to do it right the first time.
So you had a lot of conversations with your end users before you actually built the solution, and they had some specific requests for you that led you to do some things around the homepage. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we felt like we had a pretty good pulse about what our sales users in particular wanted to see if we could make their experience better. But we decided to survey them. We just asked them 4 open-ended questions. We asked them what they liked about their homepage today and what they would change. Same thing about the platform overall. And we got some great specific feedback about what would make them more productive. And we knew that we were going to be able to give them that when we moved to Lightning, especially, like you mentioned, on their homepage. That's where they first log in. That's where we can have the biggest impact of really giving them some productivity components right there, instead of having to search around and finding the information that they need.
Yeah, and not only did you really plan what you were going to build, but you spent a lot of time thinking about the rollout. Can you tell us why and what became of that?
Yeah, we wanted to have fun with it. Again, this was, normally you're working with a business and you get a lot of constraints, but this was our project, so we could make it as fun as we wanted. And we decided that we wanted our users to be as excited about moving to Lightning as we were. And we decided we were going to kick it off at our global sales and marketing kickoffs we had all around the world with a really super cheesy yet fun video that had this theme. The theme for our project was Struck by Lightning. So we had a fun video with that and rolled that out. And then about a month before we went live, we followed that up with, and we had tremendous feedback on, I would say, people were wanting to know when we went live, when we were going to go live with this, when were they going to see some of these features, because we didn't give them a go live date. But 1 month before we went live, we gave them the official date, and we started sending them a weekly video on each of like 4 key topics in Lightning that we thought that they would be really excited about, that they could take advantage of. And then we defaulted our users to Lightning. We thought that was key to the adoption, making sure that they didn't have to switch to Lightning, and that we made sure that they didn't have to switch back to Classic. That was why we really paid attention to the roadmap, but really giving them exactly what they needed. And it involved us being a little creative, but again, that utility bar is great for using some creative functions.
So you have constant feedback.
Yeah.
And what kind of feedback have you gotten thus far?
Yeah, as soon as we went live, we weren't sure if we were going to get a lot of questions. We thought we did a great job of training, getting them prepared for it, but they had just tremendous feedback overall. And I know you said, make sure you tell them the good and the bad.
Right.
And I say the overall, the response has been fantastic. I say that the one thing is that the speed. I know that's something that you guys are working on, but other than that, they're
Shawna,
loving what we've given that.
Okay, good. No, we really are. We're heavily focused on speed, and we really do want feedback from everybody using Lightning. You have seen some pretty phenomenal usage numbers, and can you tell us about those and the contributors that you think made that happen?
Yeah, so one of the first things, and I wanted to mention this before, was that when we defaulted them to Lightning, we only migrated 1,500 of our users over, just our Sales Cloud users, and 87% of them consistently stay in Lightning.
Nice.
And we're looking to find, and we're kind of wanting to replicate what Salesforce does, where when you guys switch back to Classic, it asks you why, and we're trying to figure out how to do that on our end so we can close the gap. But in addition to that, the other phenomenal things that we didn't really expect, of course you want your users to use the system, but the actual increase in the logins and making dormant users active again. We've found from the questions we were getting after we went live that we were actually getting questions on functionality we'd rolled out the previous year, and they hadn't been in the system clearly. So we went from having, so before, like when you mentioned when you were introducing me, before we went live with Lightning, and then afterwards a 20% increase in logins, and that stayed pretty consistent since. And then we also relaunched Salesforce, the mobile app, with our Lightning launch. And that went from, our adoption was 29%, that was Salesforce considers to be pretty high. I couldn't understand what our users were using out of it because they could only really just use chatter and dashboards and reports. And we made sure that our salespeople especially could do whatever they needed to do quickly on their phones when we relaunched. And that went up to 44%. And I'd still like to see that higher, but pretty great adoption.
Well, Sarah, thank you for telling us your story, and have a great rest of Dreamforce. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah Grove, everyone. So we've talked a lot about where we are with Lightning, and as Shawna opened up with, now is the time. We are actually seeing a lot of productivity increases across all of the companies, and not just the two that we talked to today, but there are thousands that are making the move and taking advantage of the productivity that they're seeing. So it's not all about base components and development. It's also about empowering end users and making them more productive. We are on the third day in the afternoon, but there's still a lot going on that you can take advantage of here at Dreamforce around Lightning. If you don't know, we have built into the product the Lightning Readiness Check, so please run that on your org if you have not. And in fact, if you get that report, you can take that over to the Lightning Launchpad area on the second floor of Moscone, and you can have a one-on-one counsel on how you can move your organization from Classic to Lightning. And you can also visit the Lightning homepage. It's the one-stop shop for everything that's Lightning, and there are tons of articles and information and stories about how customers have moved and what you need to do. So there's tons of information out there to make the move today. Lastly, I know we're coming down to the afternoon of a third day, and we only have tomorrow, but there are tons and tons of sessions this week with a bunch of content, and the good news is this is all going to be available online, so if you didn't get to go to all the sessions, you can see them after you get home. And lastly, I just want to thank you very much for coming to the session and for coming to Dreamforce. Thank you.